Uh, Hello everybody, my name is Nicholas Shook, and today I'll be talking to you guys about the seriousness of concussions and what they are and what the long-term effects are. So I've been around concussions for a long time. I play ice hockey, and my first experience being around a concussion was when I was 13. It was my first time playing hitting hockey, and my friend got hit right in front of me, and he suffered a concussion, which that concussion led him to get his second, third, fourth, and now fifth concussion, and he can't play any contact sports. And he has some signs of post-concussion syndrome, but we'll get into that later. So, what is a concussion? So, a concussion is a traumatic brain injury, and it happens when you get a blow to the head, a hit to the head, and your brain stretches, and the brain tissue is damaged. So it happens, like I said before, if you receive a blow to the head and your brain almost like shakes inside of your head. So it really just matters how hard you get hit and how you get hit. So what are the symptoms? So there's multiple symptoms for a concussion. It mainly just depends on the person. But the most common ones are headaches, fatigue, and vomiting. So a lot of times you'll see somebody get hit really hard and you'll see them vomit, or later they'll be like, hey, my head really hurts, I need to go take a nap, stuff like that. Those are just the main ones, but obviously it depends on the person. But once you receive one concussion, you are then more susceptible to others. So what are the long-term effects of concussions? So this is something that I've never really heard people talk about whenever they talk about concussions, but PCS, which is post-concussion syndrome, it occurs whenever you've received multiple amount of concussions and your brain is not fully healed. And 10% of people get this whenever they get a concussion. So that's a lot of people, but basically you suffer from memory loss, headaches, fatigue, and mood changes, and it has made some professionals retire. I know a lot of professional sports players that are in high contact sports have to retire because of post-concussion syndrome. Personally, my hockey coach had to retire because of post-concussion syndrome. He got 7 concussions in 1 year because he was a NHL fighter. And now he struggles with memory loss, headaches. He was constantly taking Tylenol because his headaches were so bad, and he was constantly going to the doctor for it. So, are concussions common? And will you receive one? So, around 3 to 5 million people in the US each year receive a concussion. So, that seems like a lot, but it just depends on what you do. So, if that makes sense. So, like people who play football or people that play hockey, anything with a high contact sport, you're gonna see more concussions like that. And it really just matters what you do. I've seen people get concussions from jumping in a pool. So it all depends how your brain gets hit, but they are very common and you do have a chance of receiving them. If you do receive a concussion, what are the steps to take to not receive another one? So, like I said before, concussions, once you receive one, it just starts a chain reaction and you are more susceptible to receive more and more. So the first thing is, when you initially receive your concussion, don't walk it off. So when I mean that, you're not automatically gonna know, wow, I have a concussion. But whenever you do get hit, you are gonna feel dizzy. Maybe your head's gonna start hurting. You're not gonna feel like yourself. Whenever you feel that, do not walk that off, because if you do walk it off and you get hit really hard again, that can cause even more brain damage. And then the next thing, go to a doctor or specialist. Those are the people who know how to treat them, so listen to them and follow their guidelines. So that means stay home, do not do any high contact things, do not rush your recovery time. Your recovery time is so important. because it's your brain. You're going to be with that same brain until you're dead, basically. So you don't want to injure it any more than it could be. So don't walk it off. Recover fully. Listen to your doctor. Those are the main 3 things that you should do to prevent you having another concussion. And the last slides are just my sources. But so hopefully you gained some knowledge, some insight on concussions, how to prevent getting another one, what post-concussion syndrome is, and just some things to look for in case you get a concussion in the future or you know somebody who gets a concussion. You can now have some knowledge on it. So